Take one accountant, author and business coach who loves to cook and loves to travel, and this is what happens when you mix it all together on YouTube. So I'm here at Salcedo Market, Saturday mornings. You've got to get an early start. The later you get here, the hotter it is, the more people that are here. And if you've got some favourite stalls like I have, sometimes they sell out really early. So getting here nice and early, get amongst it. It's all in shade at this time of the day, so it's around about 8:30 at the moment in the morning, and just having a coffee. It's coffee bean and tea leaf. It's a good spot to watch everybody just stroll by. Good people watching spot, and then you can get amongst it after you've had a coffee and got your start for the day. I like to get in and out of Salcedo. There's not a lot of seating to sit down and linger, so if you know where you're going and what you're looking for, get in, have a coffee at Coffee Bean. It's nice and shady, nice fans around, and watch the world go by, and then you can flit out, grab what you need, grab some food, and get out of the place before it gets too hot. So if you're in and around the Makati area, or even if you're not, I've come from BGC, and it's only a short grab ride over. Salcedo is the one to go to. There is another market on a weekend called Legazpi. We'll do another video on that another time, but it gets even hotter at Legazpi, and there's a lot less there. I think Salcedo is a much better market. So we'll have a bit of a look around and see what we can find. Essentially, when you walk around Salcedo Market, it's really just a big square that goes around the actual park. You have food stands, fruit and veggie stands, and really you're there to basically try and absorb the ambience of the whole place. If you live close to Salcedo, you probably typically go there regularly. And I know I go there once a month, and you're always finding something new. There's maybe a new store holder or something that you haven't tried before. So you can find everything there from grilled cheese sandwiches through to Moroccan wraps. And as you go through each of these stalls, you'll find some treasures there that you may like. Other people may not like, but they'll become your favourites, guaranteed. The fruit and veggies. When you look at the fruit and veggies, you're getting some really fresh options there. But when you actually look at the pricing in the markets is a little bit more than what you would pay in the supermarket. And sometimes, particularly things like, say, mushrooms, etc., you'll get them cheaper in the supermarket, and sometimes better quality or a larger volume when you buy them. So just be careful with the fruit and veggies. Unlike a fresh food market, they are sort of scattered in amongst them, but they do have some good products there, and I'll come to those a little bit later in the video. So we've also got some typical Filipino food that you'll come across, and you can see through the video there's a heap of fresh fruit and veg. The fruit is really good to grab hold of. So grab yourself some mangoes, bananas, pineapple, some of the things that you won't necessarily find in the supermarket. So mangosteen and lazonis. Looking for those type of things in the markets. If you can get good quality, then go for it. You'll find that there's some parking snarls there. There's a drop-off point at the start of the market, and that's where you'll get a lot of your grab rides, taxis, and also if you're in a private vehicle to be able to drop off and then move on. If you are looking to park in the area, the streets behind the market are often a good option. You'll typically have to pay a 50 peso fee or something like that if there is an enforcer there to collect the money. But if they're on their off day or they're just not around, sometimes you can get lucky. But it's only a very short walk. to one of the back streets, and you can always get there a lot quicker rather than driving round and round the square trying to find a park. And what they do with the parking is that they rope a lot of areas off, so you do need to be careful. You can always try some of the local juices. They're always good to do. Just make sure they're good quality, that they're not simply just made with dirty water, as we can call it. As you move through, there's some more interesting stands. You can get everything from pizza through to empanadas, samosas. There's a whole range of things that you can buy. If you get there early, it's before typically you're having brunch or a Filipino breakfast. It's typically breakfast time for a Westerner, and there's not much that's really breakfast style food. So unless you're going to have a piece of pizza or something like that for breakfast, typically you can buy and then take it home with you and have breakfast or brunch when you get home. Works a lot better. You can see here making some fresh lumpia. Maybe that's a good option for breakfast, something that is quite common in the Philippines. You'll find that there's a stall here which is a Thai stall. Now, this always has a massive big line when you get there later. So if you are there early and the line is short, as it was on this day, make sure you get some Thai. A hint, grab it, take it home for dinner. You can easily reheat the stuff, and it's a good way to have a great Thai meal. The quality's great. That's why the line's normally big. I thought it was just a TikTok thing, but the line is always massive, and it's because of the quality of the food. So you can see as we walk through, it's a real park setting and it's a real community setting. You know, a dog just walked past. You're not supposed to have the dogs inside the market, so just be aware of that. If you do want to take your pooch, you can't get inside where the stalls are. They will give you a bit of a snarl there. This guy's always sold out. He makes Italian pastas, etc. Make sure you get there early if you want some of his goodies, because you can get there, say, around 11 a.m. and he's already packed up. He's ready to go because he's sold all of his goods. The day that I was there, he had some lamb shanks, New Zealand lamb shanks in a lemon sauce, lasagna, and a really nice looking pecan pie. So as you move around, you've got some stalls that sell some little knickknacks and bags, etc. But then you move into the food stalls, and pretty much everything is here. You've got everything from chicharron to nuts, dips and conserves and all sorts of things that are within there. You've got fresh pastries, and there's a lot of home baking outlets that are within it. Fresh bread, fresh cookies, good place to get some cookies, 80 pesos each. If you're buying cookies from one of the malls, from somebody like Moe's, etc., it's going to cost you, nearly 200 pesos for a cookie. So you can get them a lot cheaper at the markets and sometimes a lot better as well. Make sure that you try out this stall here. This is run, particularly if you're an Aussie. This is run by a lady called Madge. It's Madge's Crumpets. Get the crumpets, get the muffins, also the jam donuts. They are the absolute bomb. She's a lovely lady, and support her. She makes great products. So if you're feeling a little bit homesick, you can get some good stuff from Madge's Crumpets. Feel free to get juice, get whatever it is, and just make your way through the market. It's always a lot better if you're trying some things. You've got a bit of a bag with you. If you're a seasoned market person, then you know what to do. But if you really don't frequent markets a lot, make sure you've got a good sized bag to stuff all the goodies in. Make sure you try things around the way. You don't have to try everything on your first try unless you're just a tourist or a visitor. If you're a regular or you're going to be a regular, try a few things and then come back the next month and try a few different ones. That's what I've been doing, and you're finding that you then have favourites that you get each time. You can get panda sal here as well, and this is what I meant by there's not a lot of room to eat. They have a few small round tables around the area, but that's really it. This is a really interesting business. This one sells ginger ale, but also butterbeer. So for any of the Harry Potter fans that are out there, you can get your hands on some butterbeer. I wasn't a butterbeer favourite. You can do a tasting They're great, the guys there. But the ginger beer is really, really good. Fresh milk, mozzarella cheese, and goat's products. Here's the eating area and seating area. You can see that it gets pretty full pretty quick. But people move through fairly quick. Now, those girls that just went past, they're Salcedo girls. What Salcedo girls are is it's a real millennial craze. The girls go to the markets. Basically, it's Instagram worthy, yeah? And they all buy these flowers and carry these flowers around. So if you're at the markets and you do see the influencer types, the Instagram worthy people carrying around these flowers, and you're wondering what the hell's going on, they're dressed up to the nines in the early morning, that's what it's all about. They're the Salcedo girls. It's a little bit of a craze and a trend. Check it out, and you'll see what I mean. Some toasted almonds. They're really, really, really good product to get while you're there. And then, as you come across here, you'll find the biryani stand. This lady's really enthusiastic about her biryani, as you'll see.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Baka gusto ng biryani, sir. Try biryani, sir.
You've got to love the vibe in a local market. You can get coffee, all the various items as you go through. So, enough out of me. Let's have a little bit more of a look as we go through Salcedo Market. Now, if you've spent any time in the Philippines, particularly Cebu, you'll know lechon. Cebu's known for lechon. So we're not in Cebu, we're in Manila, but I can tell you now, if you want to get some lechon, this guy here, look at that, that looks fantastic. Get the skin, get some lechon, maybe not for breakfast, maybe take it home, have it with a nice cold San Miguel later in the afternoon. Absolutely perfect. So you can walk through the path round to the other end. And we've seen about half the market already. So this side is just a continuation of very much the similar thing, but different products. So you've got where the Salcedo girls obviously get their flowers from. And then we go through a range of different things. There's, again, a lot of homemade products at this. This pizza here is the absolute bomb. You buy it by the slice. I'd suggest getting the vodka-roni, pepperoni with a tomato vodka base on it. It's absolutely fantastic. And as you go along here, each one of these sellers has their own little product that's there. You've got a kebab and falafel, shawarma and falafel stand. Not sure about how cooked that meat is, but anyway. And as we go along, we've got another lechon sitting here. Seems to be the go. This one didn't look quite as good as the one around the other side, so it was a little bit cheaper, but I went with the other option. There's a guy who smokes his own brisket as well and sells it. It's not as cheap in the West where we're all doing the smoking, but it's probably a new thing to the Philippines. So check it out if you're at the market. You can see here more fruit and veg stalls as we go through. And then you've got the takoyaki, the little balls. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've probably had takoyaki. And as we go through, finding more and more homemade goods, sauces, etc. It's a really bit of a foodie's paradise. The Salcedo markets, and you can see what I mean by you can't have everything in one go. You've really got to sample a few things, then come back another time and have some more. Now, some of these fruit and veg stands have some great stuff. So you've got the pomelo there, the lanzones, but also up the back of these fruit and veg stalls, you'll find a thing called suman. Now, suman is sticky rice, and there's another sticky rice one there where I've done another video, which is putu bumbul. and that's another rice dish which is really, really good. It's got ube in it, so that's what the purple is from. But when they sell up the back, you can maybe see in the video up the back there, the suman. So it's sticky rice wrapped in a banana leaf, and it's got a real smoky flavour because they cook it over fire. So check out Suman if you're there. Really nice to have with some mango. If you're familiar with sort of mango sticky rice, then it's a good option as well. Not quite the same, but it's a bit of a make it up as you go along. Corn dogs are really big in the Philippines. So you can see here you can get corn dogs, and on your left there's some Korean pancakes. They're quite interesting to have as well. Again, tried them, wasn't that fussed, so but I've tried them. Move on to the next thing, and away you go. Now this guy's one of my favourite stands. He sells sausages, so it's just like a Kransky on a roll. You can get it with a whole heap of toppings, different chili and onion, etc., mustard, and the sauces. Really, really good, and you can buy them in a bulk pack and take them home, so you can have them yourself anytime you want to. They are very large. They're not like a typical hot dog. They're very much like a German sausage. You can see here fresh produce, again, mainly greens, pineapples. We're looking at 150 pesos a piece. That's dirt cheap. It's probably about $4 Australian. So it works out very cheap to get a really juicy sweet pineapple. Along this side, you'll find there's a whole heap of seafood vendors. Philippines fish, look, when you come from the west, it's kind of a bit hit and miss. I call them real muddy fish. It's a bit like eating mullet in Australia. A lot of the fish have a really distinct sort of rivery taste. Not a big fan. But the shrimp or prawns are quite nice. You can get squid, depending on the season. They have mud crabs, so you can pretty much get a whole feast of seafood as part of these markets. And as you head further along, you'll find some really interesting produce. Now, behind this guy, and when he actually moves out of shot, is a really interesting thing which I want to show you. So this stall's selling eggs and poultry. So it's selling chickens, ducks, and in particular, it's selling this thing, a black chicken. Now, I'm not sure, I haven't checked yet what you put a black chicken in. I think they use it for soups and stock. But yeah, a black chicken. So if you're keen, you can get one here. It's easy. Take it home, cook it up, black chicken. And as we move along, you'll find more seafood and various other food items. So we'll just have a look as we go through and enjoy a little bit more ambience of the market. Monster Burger can be a really good mid-breakfast, I guess, style thing. Who doesn't like a burger for breakfast? They're pretty good to get at the markets, as is the pork barbecue, which was there a little bit earlier. One of the things I've been meaning to try each time I come to the markets is coming up shortly, and it's the roast beef. It's quite expensive for roast beef, but beef isn't really a thing in the Philippines. It's not like we would have in the West, say Australia, where smoking's a big thing, and everywhere's got brisket. Everywhere's got a roast beef sandwich and so on. And so it's kind of a little bit of a rarity, and that's why it's a little bit more expensive. But this guy here does roast beef and does roast beef sandwiches. So next time I go, that's where I'm going to head. I'm going to give it a crack and see how good his roast beef actually is. So that's it, Salcedo Market. Always a good morning out on a Saturday. Plenty to look at, plenty to check out, plenty to take home with you. It's always a good day. Give it a go next time you're in the Philippines.